And good afternoon. This is Louis Llanes with Market Coffee Talk. I'm the founder and CEO of WealthNet Investments. We're an investment management firm. Today, I'm going to be talking about concentrating on your edge. So, what field are you involved in? Are you involved in engineering? Are you involved with sales, management? Are you retired? If you're working, this is really more for you. What is your field and what is your edge in your field? Because one of the things I've found is that when you concentrate on what your edge is in your field, then that's when you have the most success. So the key is understanding what your edge is. So first I want to define what an edge is. An edge is what you know that you can implement that makes you have a better outcome than average. A better outcome than Joe Schmo who's working with your company. Whatever that edge is, if you focus your attention on that, that's how you get results. And I found this over the years to be very, very true as I've worked with interviewing in the media. Because one of the things I found out is that when you're talking to the media, you get immediate results back from the feedback from watchers. I recently did an interview at Real Vision, and I got a tremendous amount of positive feedback, and it really boiled down to being within my unique ability and where my edge was. So what is your edge? If you're watching this, type in here, what is your edge? Tell me what your edge is. I want to know. We'll have a discussion about it. What is it? What is that thing that you do that is better than what the next guy does? And you don't even really have to think about it. It just happens. It's something that just you have an innate, unique ability to make that thing happen. And I will tell you one of the things that I have found, not from what I believe it to be, but what from others have found out to be and from actual results with some of the things that I do. Maybe this will give you some examples, some ideas that you can type in, tell me. So one of the things that I found out is that I'm good at having a thesis, developing a thesis about what's happening and testing the thesis out. And when the thesis is working, concentrating on that and making money for our clients doing that. So not everybody has that ability to kind of put pieces together. So I'm not like tooting my horn, but everybody has something that they're really good at. Like one thing I'm really bad at is rote memory. I cannot remember a lot of small details that are not related to a particular topic. But I can remember theorems like the derivative theory, like, you know, what the formula is for a derivative in algebra, in calculus. But I can't remember, like, you know, what did my wife say she wanted at the grocery store? Oh, she wanted celery, you know. So what field are you in? Tell me what field you're in if you're working. Are you in engineering, sales? Are you retired? Another thing that I found out is that if you are in your unique ability, that like time goes away, you don't even think about time. You're just so in it that you don't lose any energy. It's super easy for you. And sometimes because it's easy for you, you will not even you won't even realize that you're valuable in that, right? You're super valuable in that area because it's too easy. You think, oh, well, anybody can do this. And it's not true. Not anybody can do that, whatever it is that you're really good at. So another thing that I found out, you know, in that interview I was telling you about, because we get, you know, through various interviews, you start hearing feedback from thousands of investors who are watching these things, money managers, investors, retail traders. We're really good at developing quantitative models and analyzing, getting to know how much to put into something. Should I put more or should I put less in an opportunity? That's something that we have a very good edge with. What is your edge? What is it that you do that's better than everybody else? And it doesn't even have to be a huge margin. It's just a consistent small margin that makes a difference. And when you capitalize that and you concentrate on that for yourself, then everybody you're associated with, your business that you work for, your family, your friends, they all benefit from it. Another thing that I'm really good at is music. It's easy for me to learn songs. I'm a guitar player. You know, I don't know if any of you know me. If you are, it's funny. Louis, that's a guy. Let's see what this says here. Marcella, Louis, that's a guy thing. Not remembering what to get at the grocery store. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Uh, I can remember some stupid things that have not related to everyday life. But anyhow, so what are you good at, Marcella? What are you good at? I can tell you, I know Marcella. Marcella is good at a lot of things, and she's a really good listener, for one. Market psychology is another thing that I'm good at. Understanding what investors are thinking, and what that means and how they're going to act. So, for example, right now, there's a lot of people who have nowhere to go with their investments, so they're just going to buy stocks, and they don't know where to put it, so they're just buying funds and they're doing certain things. Certain stocks will go up because of that. People are doing the same thing with real estate. There's a fear out there that the market is too high, so people are buying real estate. Interest rates are really low. So, that's one of the things that you want to look at. So, remembering what to get at the grocery store. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. So, I actually use a cell phone to remember. I just type it in, and say, "Oh, don't forget to get celery," whatever it is. But actually, I just got back from the gym and went to the grocery store before I got here. So I picked up these Quest bars. I don't know if you've had those Quest bars. Actually, some of them are kosher. Actually, they taste horrible, but they're supposed to be like low in carbs. And anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna buy those anymore. But Marcella says connecting with people, visual memory, and intuition. Yeah, I could see that, Marcella. I could definitely see that. I remember when I met Marcella, I was actually we were at this event, and she said 2 words to me, and then all of a sudden we were talking about music. So that is a huge value. So getting a connection, and then what you do with the connection is really, gosh, that's really what it's all about. And visual memory, so you can see something, and I guess that means you see it and then you remember it. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I have that. But knowing how to make adjustments is another big thing. One of the things that I found through this realization in talking to the media people is there is a like for the fact that I'm able to see when things are changing and to make adjustments quickly and to not stay with errors. Because one of the biggest problems that investors make is staying with an error and driving it into the ground. I mean, I can think of people. I remember one time I was talking to a guy who said, "Hey, what do you think of General Electric?" And General Electric was down, and I said, "You know what? I think General Electric makes a lot of sense, and there's all these reasons why buying General Electric made sense as an investment." And then those reasons why I bought it changed, so I got rid of General Electric. I saw that guy, like 4 months later, and he's still holding General Electric. And he's all mad at me because I didn't tell him to get out. Well, if you were a client, maybe you wouldn't have to worry about that. But it wasn't my job to pick up the phone and call everybody I told I like General Electric. But not to be rude, but I thought he got really mad at me, which I thought was really interesting. But knowing when to cut your losses is really important in life, right? So like when something is really working for you and you enjoy it, keep doing more of that. And then when something's not working, sometimes you need to have the stick-to-itiveness, and you just need to get through a hump. So getting to know when you just need to put the extra effort and get over a hump versus this is wrong. And I think, Marcella, like with intuition, I think that is a big thing that probably can help you, is using that intuition to say, okay, my intuition is saying this is wrong and I have to stop. The problem is that a lot of people, when they commit to something, it's hard to admit you're wrong. It's one of the hardest things on the planet. I have some family members, I won't say who they are, but they don't like to admit when they're wrong, even when it's blatantly obvious that this is wrong and we need to course correct. Some people can't do that because they have this intense desire to be right. They don't want to change their course, right? My whole thing in life is I want to change course if I'm wrong. It's like, yeah, that's not working for me. I'll give you an example in losing weight. So one of the things that I found that is not working for me is if I just have certain trigger foods in the house, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to have the willpower. I'm going to eat those chips if they're in the house. And if I eat those chips, I'm going to go over my, required eating for the day. So that's probably one of the biggest things that helps me. So what are some of the tips and tricks that you have, think about what are the things that you have that you can do that would change your habit so that you can just, make a big difference in your life. So knowing what that edge is, I think that's such an important thing, and concentrating it. The other thing is concentrating on it, because a lot of people, they have an edge and they don't concentrate their effort on it. And actually, I'm guilty of that. And I would say my biggest guilt that I have with that is I'm not playing enough music, because of that, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So I picked up the guitar the other day and I wanted to play this song called Crushing Day, which is one of the most complicated songs by Joe Satriani. And there's like these big arpeggio, very fast arpeggios and going all the way up and down the neck. And I could not play it at 75% of what I normally do. It's just because I'm not putting the effort in. And and then if you have a gift and and you love doing it, and if you're not using it, boy, what a waste, right? So I realize I'm wasting the music talent. So I need ideas. The biggest problem I have is figuring out what to do, because with time constraints, what music venue is going to be the most like add value? Because there's so many things you can do. I got so used to the playing thing where it's like, okay, here's your charts, be ready, one rehearsal, boom, you perform. I got so used to that. Somebody picked me up, or called me up and said, hey, let's jam and let's create songs. And it's like, my head's never like that. My head's like, what's the charts? What's the set? What are we going to do? I practice. I'm ready. Let's rehearse one time and let's do it. And I think I lost kind of my initial love for the music, because it used to be like, let's jam. Let's go out in the garage. Let's crank up the amps and let's jam. That's how it used to be when I, kind of that childlike thing. And I feel like I need to go back to that. But anyway, thank you for sharing about your edge. Keep working on the edge and concentrating on it. That's what I'm really focusing in on now, is getting that edge and keep going for it. Anyhow, so hope you're having a great one. I'm going to let you go, and we will talk to you later.